Hello! Again, internet. I'm going to turn the music down. I'm just going to be having the backing music, so the Sirenscape music's going to be off for any players who want to check out some music on your own. Go ahead. I have a different soundtrack running for the stream. I would like to say hello and welcome everyone who swung in so far. Thank you everybody for the lurks. It's much appreciated. Quick disclaimer, this particular episode or session may be dealing with some potentially touchy subjects for some people. There's heavy influence on, well, obviously they're trying to free a group of slaves at the moment, and possibly some mature content to come in the sense of what they might discover within, but we will see how the evening proceeds. In the meantime, we're just going to run into a quick recap from the last session, which was a little bit ago and a little haphazardly thrown together on my part. Either way, so deciding that it was finally time to free their companion Toren. Also, what's up, Brooks? Thank you for swinging by nice and early there. Deciding to free their companion Toren, they waited about a week doing a few odd jobs for the Hushroot Tribe in their time with them, and about a week later decided to launch their attack as Toren was being moved from the city of Lysia to the coastal town of Tursa to undergo training as a gladiator as was intended for him before. However, as the plan began to unfold, our good friend Lost Axioms here and his character Otten decided it would be best to try and get a leg up on the competition, in a matter of speaking, and stealthily like a shadow entered the nighttime encampment of the Imperium convoy, slaughtering about half of their numbers in their sleep, thus cutting the numbers of guards essentially in half, and causing a number to abandon their post and flee into the mountains. Yep. That's about it. We got to guide the raid from Kashmir already, sorry, just noticed that. Got it, if Brooks is live, you got it. Then, the following morning, set out to plan your ambush. Stanislav riding with the cavalry unit that was meant to sweep in from the rear. Axioms, or Otten, choosing to take up his perch high across the canyon on some of the high ground, 100 or 200 so feet up off the base of the canyon, where he could keep a good overwatch on things. Toren, meanwhile, in chains. Yeah, pretty much Legolas. Toren, in chains, wandering through the expanse of the Ember Steppe and into the Incendus Mountains, weary from travel, malnourished, and garbed in what is essentially dirty rags, was promptly freed as the attack was set underway. However, had some difficulty freeing himself from the chains, eventually managing to do so with some level of difficulty. Slaying the driver of the carriage that your quarry, or your secondary target, we'll call him, your former master, Ikesh, was riding. In which he was riding.
Ran into my
ran into your battle
camel.
steed.
Yeah.
Jeez.
That was hilarious.
That's true. Yeah, your war camel, also named after your former master, Ikesh.
No, I had the horse out.
Was it the horse? That was Ikesh.
Yeah, the horse is Ikesh, the camel is Bathir, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ikesh survived that impact, by the way.
Oh yeah, he fine.
Somehow.
You tore open the door to the carriage and found standing in front of you a caster with whom you were unfamiliar, seemingly a high-ranking member of the Magus Imperium. As he looks down at you, smiles, and launches a fireball point blank into your face, seemingly avoiding any damage himself, setting some of the decorations on the carriage on fire, but those quickly went out. As the battle comes to an end. Yeah, to quarter damage. As the battle came to an end, and Otten, using his position of height and observation to point out to the surviving members of this convoy that they were routed, there was no chance of continuing this battle and surviving, caused the rest of them to surrender. Descended from your perch high atop the mountains, taking about 15-20 minutes to do so, as it was quite a high climb. The rest of the Hushroot across the canyon, kind of gathering and keeping an eye on things as things unfold. You began to investigate the carriage, which had now, the flames had been doused entirely. And as you looked in the door and entered the carriage for the first time, you realized that this was not at all what it had seemed to be. As you enter what is essentially a meticulously decorated and highly extravagant lounge, I guess I would call it. Kind of an entry room with some couches, a door, some fire, books.
Some Harry Potter Quidditch Cup tent bullshit.
Yeah, essentially.
Up in here.
Oh, I love that shit. I love that shit. For sure. And then, after exploring for a number of minutes and trying to figure out where your quarry had gone, Stanislav, I believe, casting Locate Object, hoping to find that person, what was it, within 500 feet?
More than that, but no success.
Yeah. No,
it was like 1,000 feet or something. That he's gone.
He's quite long gone. You're not sure where, but however, you received no trace.
Surprising.
Yeah. Surprise! However, as you were exploring, you notice things begin to grow eerily quiet outside. As a voice calls out, essentially offering surrender, but not more of a forceful request, if anything. And you emerge, or poke your head out of the door of the carriage, to see about 30 Imperium archers on the cliffs facing you, led by 4 men, or 4 individuals, I should say, clad in a very, very similar armor to your traveling companion, Aten, who stand at the forefront of this group. 2 with bows in hand, the other wielding shields, and some kind of melee weapon that they hold behind it you can't quite make out from this distance. That is where we ended our session.
Oh, boy.
What would
so
you like
Toren and I are inside the cart right now, right? Whereas Aten is still up on the hill.
I think.
No, Aten came. You're all in the carriage.
car.
He took about 20 minutes after that fight to come down and start searching things, which is what gave these guys time to.
I just look at these two. Get back in the cart, and I like pull them back, and I shut the door.
I mean, yeah.
All right, fair enough.
Is there a lock on this thing, by the way?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. You had to force that door open last game, so that makes sense.
I locked the door, and immediately the first thing I want to do is set up. Do we even have anything in this? I want to take a quick glance around and see if I can find anything explosive / burny in this, like oil or anything.
Some of the it's mostly candles and torchlight in here. Nothing appears to be overly flammable, but I will say go ahead and roll me. I forgot to put the kitchen in. Oh shit.
I'm gonna I can pull my fine clothes out.
Yeah, roll me that investigation for me, please.
Investigation. 12.
It's 12.
Okay.
There is a kitchen. I forgot to put it in. It's just a small, single 5-foot door right where I'm flashing with the red dot. So you guys came in right here. And this is the room you're currently standing in. There's a double door at the end and a hallway that leads down. You can see a door at the end of it as that door is currently ajar. If you were to investigate...
It's a door.
Yeah, you'll notice there's no one in here. It is empty. There's no servants
it doesn't
that you can see so far, nothing. You make your way into the kitchen. You do find what appears to be some kind of cooking oil. You're not sure how flammable it is.
Okay, well,
but it is oil, and there is a sizable amount of bacon grease.
If it...
Cookie's been working in here.
I appreciate that, thank you.
Cookie works for the Imperium.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't actually... I would probably just done a quick glance around the room, and if it wasn't in the room itself, I would just set a bear trap at the foot of the door.
Nice. Okay, so you set a bear trap. I will say, so as Stanny kind of pulls you in and goes to close the door, the last thing you see is, while they were looking down at you, they seemed, I guess they were distracted. And you watch as a wave of arrows flies over from the side of the canyon you cannot see, where your people were stationed before, seemingly launching a counterattack of their own as the arrows begin to fly across, and you hear explosions happening as the Imperium archers raise their bows, and you see flashes of arcane energy as they fire these magically enhanced arrows across the canyon.
There's a war going on outside.
And as you close the door, silence.
I mean,
there's a peaceful music playing, almost like ethereally, very, very calming kind of background music that you might hear in a lounge or tavern.
This is something
I mean,
I'm
we
not
know
entirely
that
used to.
we did our own little barrage of arrows on this cart, so we know that it's immune to that.
Yeah, you would have seen like 1 or 2 of the Imperium archers go down, so you know they are being attacked at the moment.
Well, this is quite interesting situation we found ourselves in here, gentlemen.
Okay. Well, do we run or do we gamble on a fight?
Well, I mean, I've got nothing here, so I'm pretty much useless.
Let's look around and try and find maybe something to get that off with.
And yeah, this as well. I can't really do anything with this on.
Yep.
As,
that's what I'm
not what
talking
I know.
about. All right,
the-
I'm good.
Yeah, while they're doing that, I want to peek outside. Like, I want to open the door, like,
Just this tiny crack.
tiny crack, and see if I can, like, get an idea of if it's still fighting out there.
Roll me a stealth check with advantage because you're just doing a tiny crack and you're like in an ethereal carriage.
Sure. So, stealth, that's here. Okay, dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay, yeah, absolutely. So you managed to open the door just a crack, not enough that anyone would notice you doing so. And what are you looking for? If you want, you can roll me a perception check to see exactly how much you make out.
Yeah,
Or,
I mean,
or
I-
insight to see how the battle is going. Your choice.
Well, that's kind of...
Rob, what's your investigation?
-1.
Okay.
Dude.
Me too.
24. Yeah, 24.
That was investigation, but that's fine.
Well, I mean, what did you tell me to roll? I thought you
Perception
said
or
it's
insight.
Same roll. It's 8 for
Oh,
perception.
Jesus, okay.
Yeah.
So you notice at this point, there's a full-pitched battle occurring.
Okay.
There are arrows being lobbed across the canyon, and as you look out, you see other members of the Imperium military. They're more vanguard-style fighters, like the foot soldiers, begin descending the cliffs on ropes towards the canyon, and you see... Actually, with that, you'd manage to, like, get a little bit of a view, and you see a number of the Hushroot cavalry charging in to try and deal with this threat as well. But their numbers are being drastically cut down as they are doing so.
I make a quick and executive decision. I pull out my retreat arrow and open the door, fire, slam it back shut.
Okay, what are you trying to achieve?
The retreat arrow. I told
Okay,
them specifically there was an arrow sound to signal
Yep.
for retreat.
Okay,
And I'm firing that off.
I'm gonna say roll me a persuasion check.
I mean, I
An
don't
arrow check.
Okay.
This is just to see if they listen. Whether or not it matters to you, this is for me.
That's totally fair.
I got to
Persuasion?
know persuasion. Yes, please.
Persuasion. It's...
Just natural 20.
I gotta do the worst rolls when I need the fuck. Oh well, whatever.
Okay. So, as you are doing this, the battle is continuing. You see the cavalry beginning to ride in, and a number of archers of the Imperium aim and once again fire those magical shots. And as the arrows hit, they begin exploding. And horses are being thrown about, riders are being tossed to the ground, and the horses are beginning to panic. Some of them are still managing to charge, and they do manage to get in a quick pass, on the soldiers who are coming down.
But we're
But as you hear the loud whistle of your arrow just before you close the door, you see a familiar form on horseback, a purple-skinned tiefling, ride past the door and jump from his horse onto the top of the carriage where he is no longer visible. And the last thing you see before the door closes is the carriage beginning to move.
We don't feel that from inside, do we?
fuck.
No, Otten does.
That's so cool.
I'm gonna walk back. How are you guys doing with the collar?
While you're doing that, I'm gonna say, come on, let's go look for a set of lockpicks to get that shit off your neck. To Toren.
Okay. Roll me an investigation check. Gonna be a pretty high DC. Doesn't look like a lot of rogue types around here. How far into this structure are you delving as well? Is my question. Are you still in the main room?
I'm gonna look
further
till
in?
I think, Toren, come on, we should stick together because we don't know what's in here, but we need to find something to get that off you.
No, I agree. It's I don't think we're gonna find it in here. We might have to go in just a little bit.
I agree. Alright, so yeah, I guess we're both gonna look around the wolf place until we find one.
Okay, Otten, what are you doing while that is happening? Just dealing with the door?
I mean, that whole interaction that I did probably is going to take a solid, like, minute overall.
Couple minutes of watching, I'd say, yeah, probably.
Yeah, and then, so event, pull out fire, I'll see, I'm assuming, I want to call him Ilsevere?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ilsevere, hop on and start moving the carriage. So you can decide when is appropriate based on those events that I would come back and let them know that.
Meanwhile, Stanislav and I wander off like children.
Yeah, so...
Very slowly and carefully. And quietly, too, I guess.
Okay, so you're actively looking for traps and threats?
Yeah.
Okay, so roll me an investigation for the trap checks. And then
doing this?
I assume we're both doing all of this, yeah.
You can either help each other, or you can...
Our investigation's the same.
Well, let's see what you get.
I rolled a 4 to look and a 2 to...
No, it didn't come through on roll 20. Word.
A 4 and a 1, so no and no.
Yeah.
Thank you for balancing out my good rolls.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys walk in, and you get about halfway through the hallway, in between the set of 4 torches right in the middle there. And as you do, Stanislav, you step onto a plank, and as it does, the door behind you slams shut. I guess it would be, it's like they're on hinges, and it closes, and you hear it latch. And as it does, you see a green gas begin to just be funneled in through the walls. I need you both to roll me Constitution saving throws, please.
Do I have anything for this?
And Aten, at this point, you would turn around just as this is happening. You hear the doors slam, and that gets your attention. I'm not sure what's going on behind.
God damn it!
On save?
Yep.
Problem.
Also, your rolls are not going through the roll 20.
Oh, I see it on
For
my
some
screen.
reason.
Weird.
Do
9.
you have the GM rolls equipped? Or not equipped?
No.
Okay.
No, and I roll on D&D Beyond.
You have the Beyond 20 plug-in, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Weird. Whatever. Just let me know what you get.
Okay.
Not
Yeah,
good, I'm
9.
guessing. 9? Oh. You both fail. Oh my.
And this is poison.
Oh,
right?
I
Not
rolled
disease.
very, very, very low. You guys are so lucky. On 46, I only rolled 12. So you take 12 points of poison damage. And you are both poisoned. You both have the poison status. For the foreseeable future. You're not sure how long this one will last. You begin to feel drowsy as the room continues to fill, and you gather the longer you are in this stuff, the harder it is going to be to survive it. What are you all doing?
Stanislav, I think we
Get
fucked up.
out of here.
Just slowly filling.
Okay, well, I'm gonna try and stand on a table or something.
There are none.
There's
Or
nothing
start
to.
pulling
No,
on
it is
sconces.
a hallway with an empty chamber at the end with 3 doors on each
Oh.
side of it and 4 suits of armor.
Okay, well, firstly, is there anywhere that I can go that I can not breathe the poison, or can I hold my breath and not breathe it?
Yeah, you could try to hold your breath for sure.
Okay, I'm gonna use 5 points of lay on hands to remove the poison from myself.
Okay.
I'm going to hold my breath, and I'm going to attempt to bash a door down.
Weird. What's your con score?
+2, so I can hold it for 2 minutes.
Okay.
Just to be clear, is this affecting me in the entryway too?
Nope.
Okay.
I want to bust
that
down a
room is
different
sealed.
door than the
You
one
can't
that
even-
we came in.
You can't even see what's happening. It's just a solid wooden door. It closed, and you heard it latch. That's all I can. All you can discern for now.
I want to bust down a different door than the one we came into. And
Okay.
I'm going to activate my channel divinity.
Okay. Which door would you? You can drag your minis onto the map whenever you guys want. Which door are you intending to break down?
Where am I right now?
Wherever you want to put your mini in anywhere in this chamber,
Why?
potentially.
Gold Tooth Garrick.
I want to start
I
pulling on the
opened
wall
the
torches if I
wrong.
can.
That's why.
Oh no.
Okay.
You're in Mike's game, just dropping rolls.
Yep,
and shit?
I was like, why is there a big round chamber with a bunch of other round chambers attached to it? This doesn't look like where we are.
This doesn't look like what I'm describing at all.
Yeah.
Toren, what are you going to be
Costa,
doing while
thank you
that's
for your
happening?
patronage.
There we go.
There you go, buddy.
Okay. I open the character thing. It's like, gold tooth. What? So what? I'm like here.
Wherever you want to be in that room. You would have been between these 4 torches when you triggered the trap.
Okay. Just the door straight ahead. This one.
Okay. You gonna try to break it down?
Yeah. Just gonna activate my. Oh no!
And while he's doing that, I'm pulling on wall torches. See if that'll do anything.
I don't have my channel divinity.
Okay, roll me an investigation check, Toren. You used your channel divinity already, didn't you?
I'm still
Ooh.
gonna try to bust down the door.
15.
Okay. You don't see anything that you believe could turn this off. You gather it's more of a magical as opposed to a mechanical type trap. So something set by the owner of this establishment and possibly built into it as it was being made. Go ahead and roll me an attack. It is a wooden door that is braced with steel.
Not an athletics check. Actually,
No,
it would be
it's
the
a
same.
straight attack roll against
Unarmed strike?
Are you trying to pummel the door down, or sword, or axe? Like how are you trying to take that door down?
Like double donkey kick.
Yeah,
The
so I'm gonna
most-
say unarmed
the most
attack.
possible
Yeah.
force that I can possibly put into it.
Yep, that would be an unarmed attack.
Okay, and I'm gonna hit it twice
Okay.
in case the first one doesn't work. So there's a whatever that is, 26.
Roll your damage.
That's 6. It's always 6.
Just begin like slamming your feet into it, trying to boot the door, and you see marks beginning to make and some of the wood beginning to crack. You are not through it yet, but you are damaging the door.
Okay,
You
here's
get
the
one
second
more attack this turn. We're gonna go on like a turn-based system now, so we're gonna do poison, then you guys, then poison.
And another 6.
The damage didn't come up, but that's fine. The door is still standing.
It's always 6.
Oh yeah, because 1 + 5.
No.
Yeah, so it's beginning to fall, and you like the hinges are beginning to give. You're starting to break the latch, but it is currently still quite formidably closed. It is, however, breaking slowly. That being said, top of the round, since Toren, you're not holding your breath, I need you to roll me another con save.
I can think of that.
For a bonus action, can I cast? No, never mind.
Okay, so you're fine. So you're only going to take half damage on this. So 5, because we round up. You take 5 more points of poison damage, Toren. And the DC is going to go up again next round. Is now due to the fact that the poison itself is quite a bit more dense than actual air. It's kind of pooling around your feet and slowly
look at Toren
getting
and just,
out
like-
and working its way up a bit.
I'm gonna just like signal to Toren by putting my hand over my mouth and.
All right, so both holding their breath now. All right, what's your Constitution score, Toren?
18. Or my my score?
You're,
Plus
4.
You have a plus 4
4.
con. Damn, dude. Okay, so you can hold your breath for 4 minutes. That's actually quite impressive.
It's that mountain altitude that he's used to.
Mm-hmm.
He's used to breathing that thin air.
All right, so you each get another turn. And Otten,
Okay.
if you want to be involved anytime, what do you want to do?
I mean, the door just shut. I have no
Slammed.
Yeah, slammed
slammed.
and latched.
I'm torn because on one hand there's an actual active battle going on
Yeah,
outside.
your passive perception's 18, right?
Yeah.
So you would hear coming from behind the door just the sound of like just compressed poison air being pumped into this room, and then you hear Stanislav and Toren panic briefly before silence because they're both holding their breath now. And then
Okay,
you hear the
well,
sound
then
of someone pounding
slam.
on a door. Yeah.
Yeah, Otten basically takes a quick second and goes, I am not walking through poison. I'm not walking through a cloud of nondescript mist to
That's
an
fair.
unknown fate and removing my only area of safety. So I'm gonna do the only really other thing I can do, and that's open the door and I guess kind of attempt to play fucking Hawkeye from the TV series while Kate's driving he's driving the car and Kate's trying to shoot that's me right now.
You're taking some pot shots.
I'm
You're taking some pot shots.
I'm gonna play Kate Bishop here. Yeah.
Okay, so you're on a moving carriage with the door open. Like you do notice, like your carriage does
Well,
not
okay.
is not affected by the road, but you are able to shoot.
The equation in Otten's mind. Oh, and I'm going to switch to my crossbow as opposed to my longbow, even though it's yeah. But the equation in Otten's mind is very simple. On one side of the door is death mist that might potentially come through the door eventually and kill him anyway, and on the other side of the door is an escaping carriage. One of those is more up his alley and it is more prone to like decision making, and decides in his mind to try not to that he would rather fight to survive than outrun a potential poison mist, and therefore will just do that.
Open the door, take some pot shots.
Yes.
I love it. All right, are you aiming for one of the archers on the cliff?
Well, the carriage
foot soldiers,
is moving, right?
Not very quickly. You did kill one of the horses. He managed to free it and latch up the other one. You have one horse pulling this carriage. It's not fast moving.
I pretty much... Actually, yeah, probably the archers, because the archers will try to shoot the horse.
Yeah, they have
so.
them.
Okay.
So you open the door, and as you do so, you see a completely different scene unfolding around you. There are foot soldiers engaged with members of the Hushroot on the ground. Some of the cavalry is still doing passes.
Yeah.
And there was like... You can see that there was an effort to try to retreat based on your natural 20, but it got cut off. From what you can see, it was cut off by a force coming in from the Tursa direction. They have people pretty well in Sandwich right now, but you go ahead and open the door, and you're going to attack one of the archers, so you look up onto the cliff with your crossbow. Go ahead and roll me an attack, please.
Yay, I'm reasonably good at that. It's an archer, so I'm actually going to go high... Well, I say high risk, but I'm going to sharpshooter this. And I'm going to do my no movement advantage on the attack thing.
Okay, so you're going to give yourself advantage and sneak attack, correct?
Yes.
Hey, the carriage is moving right now, right? Like he opened the door and we're moving?
So very slowly.
Oh.
Yeah, Ilsabia's trying to get you guys moving.
Those were rolls. So at advantage, that's an 8, which means it misses.
Yeah, you had to hit a 16, unfortunately. But the shot fires, and you think you're on target, but look, as the archer looks down and sees that you have, like, the door is open and someone is actively shooting, he just steps out of the way, and the bolt just flies out.
Start it.
And he loads his bow and gets ready to fire a counterattack. And he fires.
Cool. As he should.
You are at cover, though, but they have sharpshooters, so...
He's also moving.
Yeah, it's a moving target. So he's only going to get one attack against you, as he has other targets he has to worry about. It's a 19 to hit.
That hits, yeah.
Okay,
I wish
so
I
you
could say
take
it misses.
11 points of piercing damage. There is no magical effect on this arrow, luckily for you.
Yeah.
Oh, I could have been so mean. Anyway, I didn't. You take 11 points of piercing damage as, like, your bolt just flies and immediately knocks an arrow in your direction and fires and just soars right down and kind of right into the kind of the clavicle area, right where your shoulder is. Where your collarbone meets the shoulder. Yeah, it's not a fatal wound by any means, but it hurts.
I felt that. Yeah,
you felt that, and you just close the door and step back into the space.
I might close the door, but I can't move because I sharpshootered. Or not sharpshootered, the advantage.
Oh yeah, that's fine. I mean, close the door. That does the trick. You're essentially in full cover. You're only at risk when you're actively shooting out the door. Other than that, you can open it and stand by the side and peek out, and you're pretty much fine. However, we're back to our two poison boys. You guys did your poison damage already this round, so what are you doing? Just gonna keep moving?
Yeah, after seeing what Stanislav did, I'd like to shoulder charge the door.
Okay.
I just like hold up a finger, just one more.
Okay, go ahead and roll your attacks. Keeping in mind
27.
that you are holding your breath, and the longer you hold your breath, the harder it is to do physical activity.
How is the door looking? Is it on the verge of going?
Not quite. It's reinforced with steel.
I am going to drop a second level Divine Smite onto the door.
Okay, go ahead. The
I rolled
fist
a
of
9,
Divine
so I'm not
Fury.
doing anything with that door.
As you're like booting it, Toren just runs and tries to shoulder jump into it, and just bounces off and like hits the ground. Yeah, I'm not gonna have you take damage, but your shoulder feels a little tight after that one, Toren.
So 6 plus 12 is 18 points of damage.
Okay, the door cracks inward and is kind of hanging loosely off the hinges, and you have managed to open up another thing. As you do so, you notice the flow of poison gas just begins flowing into that room as well, gradually filling.
Is our level going down?
It's I would say it's equalizing.
It's not going up anymore.
It's not going up. It's like an ice cube tray at this point. It's going to fill that space equal to where it was at before it starts affecting you guys. But you can see it is actively flowing in and does not appear to be venting out anywhere. You guys are still in trouble.
Shit. I don't say because I'm
Holding your breath. Toren's just laying on the ground at this point.
Yeah, it's just...
You know what? You specifically shoulder checked a hard door and failed. Roll me a Constitution save to see if you can keep holding your breath. Or if that completely knocked the wind right out of you.
Oh shit.
Okay, you're good. Yeah, that's fine. You managed to contain your breath and not let out like the as you eat it into the floor. But you are now currently just like submerged in the poison gas. You can't really like it's starting to get blurry inside there. It's hard to see. And I believe we're back at the start of the round. No one outside can do anything to anyone inside. So
Well, I
Elsewhere's
have
just gonna
movement
keep
and a
trying to
bonus
get you
action
moved.
still.
It's up to you.
I don't know what to do, man. Like,
I point to the other door.
We'll
Okay.
say you guys are in an enclosed space here. You're in a magical carriage enclosed in the ethereal dimension.
Yeah,
Like-
I point to the door below where our characters are on the map.
South
Okay.
door? Okay.
Yeah.
Real quick, this poison mist isn't lighting on fire when it hits the torch, right? Like, this isn't a fucking
No.
turn and burn.
And looking at the torches, it's more of an arcane light as opposed to flame.
Okay.
Well, that's good.
All I had
can
was fire
I-
torches to use on the map builder.
can I attempt to use thaumaturgy to make a pocket of not gas for us around this south door?
I
Like
don't
constant
think so.
gust of winds away from us? Type
Mm,
of thing? Is that a thing thaumaturgy can do?
I feel like, yeah, I feel like thaumaturgy is a little
Nope,
weak for
it's
the.
Yeah, that's
I
not
would need
even-
prestidigitation in order to make
even
my-
then, it's a cantrip. This is a very powerful
Could use-
magic trap. If you had gust of wind,
That would be different.
That would
yeah.
be doing it.
Gusts,
but
Yeah, but I don't.
unfortunately-
Okay. I'm gonna attack the other door.
All right,
This
go
door.
ahead. Roll me an attack.
Yeah. 13. I hope that hits a door.
I mean, it's enough to hit the door. Yes.
Okay. Another second level divine smite. First level divine smite, actually. I think.
Go ahead.
It's a 6 plus 11. So 6 plus. Fuck me.
It's not enough. You barely manage to chip the door, but as you do, and the door shakes, you hear it as a mechanism inside of it is triggered. Need you to roll me a dexterity saving throw, please. I'm sorry, dude. Like, if you're not checking for shit actively, I can't tell you.
We're
about
in the
it.
middle of deadly gas. You think I'm gonna look for traps?
Well, it's a pretty
At
clear
20.
indicator that this area is trapped. All right, so you're gonna
Yeah,
take
but we're
half
in full
damage.
panicking mode.
Yeah, I know, but that's the downside, dude. All right, so 3 Ooh, that's not bad. 3
kind
crossbow bolts shoot up from the
Oh.
ground beneath you, from 3 holes currently hidden under the poison. You're gonna take half damage, so you only take 6.
Okay.
As the 3 just there's no poison or anything on them. This area is designed not to let people in. I'm giving you a warning ahead of time right now. DM mercy.
But we're in poison. I looked for the trap and failed, and now my character is not obviously going to be level-headed looking for shit. He's panicking.
That's your choice.
this shit is gonna happen.
That's your character decision. That's fine. I'm just DM mercy. This is a
No,
very trapped area. Keep that in mind going forward.
Okay, that's what I...
All right, Otten, you're up.
Three rounds of breath holding.
Again, I am assuming I hear shaking and shit going on.
You just hear the
around.
sound of pounding, like banging. Someone clearly trying to. You hear the sound of a door breaking and wrenching
like-
metal as it bends on its hinges.
Otten in his head is just like, I'm sure they're fine. And then opens the door and takes another shot.
Take another pot shot. Go for it. Same archer or different guy this time?
I mean, whatever archer I can see, they are
Alright.
the current problem. Same thing, I'm gonna... Did it come through? No, hang on, 1 second. Oh, I have to hit this. Dirty 20, -5, so,
15.
yeah. Just shy? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you need a
Damn.
16. They have a breastplate. They are well armored, these guys.
Okay. Shoot. We're close.
It's gonna fire another arrow at you.
Fine.
However, on this shot, you're gonna watch this time as you pop out. He's aware. He's figured out your
Sure.
trick. You're not actively trying to sneak, and he's just waiting at this point. You pull out, fire another shot. He steps again, and this time, as he's about to pull the arrow back while it's knocked on the string, he twists his hand and just grabs it and pulls it, and you see a black, kind of cloudy energy surround
Fuck.
the arrow as he fires it at you.
I love arcane archers.
And it misses you, I believe.
I have a 15 AC, so...
Oh, so it hits you. You take 11 points of piercing damage.
Uh-huh.
And 2d6. Only
Oh,
6.
shit.
You take 2d6
Cowboy
psych.
trucker.
Thank you, Cowboy Trucker, for that sub, buddy. Coming in gifted subs and shit. We'll be spinning the wheel either on another stream or at the end of this one if you're still around while we're still in game. We
So
tend to
11
focus on that, but thank you so much.
And 2d6, so what about 7?
You took
psychic
6. I
damage?
rolled 6 on the 2d6. I rolled a 3
Okay.
on each. That's a bummer. So, you take 6 points of psychic damage, and I need you to make me a DC 14 Wisdom save, please.
Terrible, it was not great at it, though. Did it not? Oh, that's... there. God damn it, why couldn't I roll the natural 20 on my attack?
I mean, you save, so that's plus.
Yeah.
Bright side, you are not blinded by this attack, and as the arrow hits you, again, it hits you in the torso. He's aiming for like a very tight cluster. You see this black cloud of shadow just erupt from the arrow, and it like kind of lingers on your face, and you manage to shake it off, and it dissipates. You manage to avoid an arcane arrow shot.
Is the
Yeah.
damage halved on success, or is it just the blind?
It's
Okay.
just the blind you resist.
I wasn't trying to nitpick. I just genuinely couldn't remember how it worked on arcane archers.
Yeah, I love Arcane Archer. It's like
I
low-key
know
one
you
of
do.
my favorite classes. I'm gonna play one day. If Silvos dies, that'll be probably what I bust out.
Gotcha.
Anyway, so we're back in the poison. You guys are holding your breath for another round, correct?
Yeah, this is now round 4.
Okay. So,
So
you're
we
at
have
about,
12. I have 12 rounds, he has 24, unless
so
something
you're at about
happens.
36 rounds or 36 seconds of holding your breath while kicking the door 4 times. You've done. So it's gonna start getting
I just
start
shoulder
getting
checked
harder now.
once.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're doing a little better, but that beat you up pretty good. Stanislav, who's actively expending like the
And
oxygen
oxygen.
stored in his body, the DCs are gonna start going up.
But
You're
I'm
gonna
still
be rolling
poisoned.
with disadvantage. And everyone's still poisoned, so technically shit would
I'm
be
not
at
poisoned.
disadvantage. Oh, you resisted it, that's true.
No, I used my last 5
Yeah.
points of lay on hands to remove it.
Yeah,
And I held
so
my breath.
still holding your breath, but the DCs are gonna start going up.
Yep.
The door's gonna get harder to break.
Okay, yeah, I'm at it again. And I just wave over to Toren to get closer.
Alright, go ahead.
Toren runs over.
Okay, here we go. I'm gonna use my sword.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yep.
Hits.
19. And I've backed my shield, and I'm using 2 hands on this one.
Yeah.
And first level divine smite as well. Fuck! Keep rolling 1s, man.
I don't see your damage at all, so you gotta let me know.
7 plus. I don't know why that one didn't go through. Here, I'll roll the 2d8.
I would have just did the same thing Stanislav did the first time. Just
18 points of
double
damage
feet
to the
into
door.
Alright, you roll me an attack on it too. That's almost enough. You start like hacking through, and it's very much like The Shining. You're just hacking a hole through the door and like
Nice.
getting more angry. And again, you see the poison beginning to just flow through the cracks you're making and fill
I got
them
a nat
beyond
one.
it. Okay, once again, this time you run at the door. You're thinking you're gonna shoulder check it again, but something is like rolling around on the ground. Maybe one of the crossbow bolts that fired and didn't hit Stanny, and you just stumble into the door. Roll me a con save at disadvantage to see if you can hold your breath still.
+4 from my aura of alacrity.
+4 for the aura.
That one.
What? No.
It says 24 and 15 on mine.
Yeah. That one was here on
Yeah, you
strength.
rolled 11 plus 4 for
Oh,
the con
okay.
save.
Oh, I was thinking about an strike. Ooh, okay.
Yeah, so the
15
lowest
plus
15.
another 4.
You do manage to hold your breath still, but like it's starting to wear on you a bit now. You're almost embarrassed at this point. You're not sure where to continue from here.
All right, door's coming off.
You're gonna go
attack.
1 second attack. All right, go for it.
Yep. No smites this time. 16.
It's enough.
Lowest I can roll is a 7.
Yeah, you break the door. This time you grab your sword and you just thrust it into one of like the gap in between the two doors and pry.
11
Break the
this
two
time.
doors right off their hinges as well. And once again, the gas begins kind of lowering in your room as it fills into this one.
In
it
I
begins
go.
to
I'm on the
equalize.
table.
Okay. So now you enter.
I
You see what appears to be.
Frantically wave to Toren as well.
You see
Yeah,
what-
Toren would have ran. Seeing that table, he would have ran right in with you.
Yeah, you see what appears to be a fairly basically decorated boardroom or meeting room.
Okay.
The table is very nice. This kind of red velvet, like not a tablecloth, something that just lines down the middle, like you see there. Some very ornately decorated chairs. Other than that, this room is more or less empty. You see behind
Our
you.
muddy footprints on the table
Yeah,
now.
yeah, he's gonna love that. You see behind you at the south what appears to be a solid steel door, and then yet another wooden one, reinforced with steel as well. And that's all you see.
Don't think we're getting through those doors.
Can we breathe? Are we high up enough where we can breathe?
Yep. Yeah, the way the gas is working, it's not going to be pleasant, but you're high enough up, you'll be at advantage on any saving throws against it for the time being.
Okay, I'm gonna just read. No, I'm gonna keep holding my breath for now.
Okay, so you're not going to let your breath out? Sounds good.
I still have quite a bit of time.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah,
was
it's gonna-
right.
it's gonna be
I
much
would've already
harder to
said
break
that,
that
so
doors.
I let my breath out.
Yeah, you're good. There's no save you can make right now because you're currently above it.
Oh.
But starting next turn, it's going to go up. So if you wanted to catch your breath, now would be a good time.
Oh, okay, then absolutely, yeah.
And starting next turn, you'll be at advantage for saves until it goes up another foot or two. Top of the round, Otten, what do you got?
So bonus action, I want to use my second wind. I wanted to call it Fighting Spirit for some reason. I don't know why, but sure.
That's
I feel like it's a thing in another game setting, but I'm not sure. Oh, it doesn't tell me what the roll is. Okay, so I'm just gonna roll a d10 and add.
Your second wind?
God damn it!
It's plus your con mod.
No, I know what it. No, it's my fighter level. No, I was hoping it would just auto roll it for me, and it didn't, so I'm kind of annoyed.
You rolled the 2.
Yeah, so I gained 6. Yippee ki fucking yay. Anyway,
Yep, you got 6 HP.
as an actual action, I'm gonna walk over to the door that shut a second ago. I'm assuming it's locked.
Yeah, you try, and it is barred or locked or
Okay.
something. You can't tell.
I'd like to use my action to try to pick a lock or get it to a point where I can open the door.
You have thieves' tools?
Probably not. I'm probably jimmying this thing and trying.
Okay, well, let's improvise. Okay, so we're going to do... I'm not going to put you at disadvantage. It's going to be a higher DC. So it's going to be Dex and Sleight of Hand. I guess just Sleight of Hand, because it's the Dex
Yeah.
modifier.
Not terrible, but yeah, no. Okay, cool.
You manage to find a couple things lying around, a couple pins, a letter opener, and you start beginning to jimmy the lock. You can feel you're making some progress. Not
Sure.
quite there yet, but you're on the right track.
Sure. Gotcha.
I mixed up the poison. The poison was supposed to go next, but I'll do it at the end of the round now. Stanny and Toren, what are you guys doing? Once again, now it's beginning to rise. It's even on the
How
table.
high-
It's
how
getting
high-
up. It's
how high
at
is it?
the height of the table, so it's covering your feet now.
But we can still, talk fine.
For a
To each
bit.
other just for a round.
Yeah, starting next round, your saves are at advantage, and then once it gets up higher, you guys are just screwed.
We need to get the fuck out of here. Where do we go?
I mean, unless we start knocking down more doors, this isn't my area of expertise.
Okay.
I don't do well indoors, let alone
Is-
with.
Doors are
Look,
not my
is that
favorite terrain.
Looking at that steel door, the door that's made purely of steel, is there a lock hole on it?
Oh yeah, it's like a dungeon door. Looks like a prison door. There's no grates in it that you can see through. Where there would be, it's just solid steel.
I mean, something we could do is we could take this dagger, put it in that lock, and you smash it with the hilt of your sword.
Oh, interesting.
Not a bad idea. Break the lock. All right, let's do it.
I'll run down to the door. Run down, put my dagger in the lock.
Okay. So we're trying to, like, essentially force Jimmy the lock. You're just trying to break it completely.
Yeah.
What I'm gonna do though, instead of using my sword, is I'm gonna take my shield, my new metal shield, and hit it right in the center of it, right on where the dagger is. Get like my full weight behind it, basically, and body check the dagger.
Is the dagger magical?
No.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me.
Oh, good.
And if I can, as he's running towards it, when he hits the dagger, I want to try to release it and pull my hand away so I don't crush my hand.
Athletics check, please.
From me?
Yep.
22.
You run for it with your shield, slam it into the dagger, and the dagger breaks. Looking at the lock, as you try to do that, you just see like a shimmer, kind of an arcane shimmer surround the lock as it kind of resists your attempt to break it.
I get back up on the table.
I also get back up on the table.
All right.
Well, shit.
Starting next round, we're making saves again.
That was my action too, wasn't it?
Hmm?
Do I need to roll for poison damage or anything?
No, you're still good. You're holding your breath. Yeah.
So yeah, re-grab breath and then hold again, and I guess that was my action.
I would have been mine as well.
Okay, poison goes up about another foot. So it's now up to your knees even while standing on the table. And it's starting to flicker into the higher parts of the room. Okay. Otten, you're up again.
I mean, I'm losing either way at this point. Same. I'm gonna try to Jimmy the lock again.
Yeah. This time, roll it with advantage as you've already begun well on your way to getting it open.
So 18.
Okay, that's enough this time.
Okay.
Combined, you managed the letter opener, it's kind of blocked, and you don't think you got it, and you kind of just force it in and twist at the same time, and as you do, the lock opens.
Okay, so door's still shut though, right?
Door is still shut.
Okay. First thing, I want to grab a cloth or something, and just take off my helmet for a second and like make like a bandana and tighten it around my face. It's not going to help probably much at all, but I still want to have something over my mouth just in case to dilute it any amount. Helmet back on. I want to, and I don't know if I can do this with my movement, I want to open and shut the door, like instant, and see how much poison gets out, or how much of whatever it is gets out.
None. You open and close the door, and in the brief moment you look there, it's almost like there is an invisible wall stopping the poison from progressing past that point.
Tentatively open the door.
Yep, that's just, you see roiling clouds kind of just breaking against this invisible
I'm gonna yell,
like
I'm just gonna yell,
Hunger Games style?
Follow my voice. This, like, the entry is safe, follow my voice. I'm just gonna yell that.
Do we hear?
Oh yeah. All the doors are open, you blew them right off their fucking hinge.
Good. But the gas is coming out isn't louder than his voice.
No, it's more of like a very slight like psst. And the more the gas fills the chamber, the less audible as it is. It's kind of being muffled by its own fumes.
Well, let's fucking go!
Yeah, and you both take off running back towards the way you came, towards Otten's voice.
And because you started your turn right next to me, you get the benefits of my aura of something.
Yeah, you do not breathe in any of it. And as you kind of clear the doorway where Otten is standing, you emerge back into clean air once again. The burning in your lungs begins to subside. Toren, you are still poisoned, unfortunately. Which, if you let me check the condition on that, I just need to refresh
disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks.
Oh, rough. Yeah, should have had you roll in disadvantage. That's fine.
I just looked it up like the round before this too, and I was just like, oh shit.
Yeah, so you all look now, as you look back down the hallway as the poison just fills the entire space, and all you see before you is a cloud of greenish, partly translucent, but not quite gas.
I just turned to Otten. Don't go in there.
So I'm actively panting whenever I'm doing, because I'm poisoned and I'm quite low on health, so I don't.
Yeah, you're like,
Yeah, I'm gonna actually take the tools that I used for the door, and I'm gonna try to get Toren's necklace off.
And while you're
Okay.
doing that, I'm gonna cast a first level Cure Wounds on Toren.
Okay, go ahead and roll me a sleight of hand, please.
Second level Cure Wounds.
Quite a high DC on these things. If I remember correctly, on the lock. Yeah, no, that's not
I'm
enough.
literally just going to.
Sorry.
I'll take 10. Well, yeah. I mean, I'll take as long. Like I'll spend every.
Watch my neck!
I mean, you can take a 20. That is something you can do. That's going to take you like an hour. You can take a 10 if you're willing to take 15 minutes to do it.
No, I'll probably just turn by turn roll.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you start working on it, you can't quite. It's a combination between mechanical and magical lock design. The two kind of run
Sure.
in tandem. It's almost artificer-esque, and you can't quite find where you're trying to get, and don't manage to make any progress this round.
While I'm doing this, I'm going to debrief them on what's going on outside.
Also, Toren, you heal for 16 points.
Ooh, juicy.
Oh,
What a good Cure Wounds. That's
That
2
was
points.
right.
at
very
max.
good cure wounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you filled them in on this situation outside.
Whoa,
There's a
shit.
battle, just a
Yeah.
pitched battle happening right now between the two.
Ilsevere is currently carrying this cart.
Also, he's trying to get us out of here.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, despite the fact that the magical barrier is helpful in the sense that we aren't taking damage here. I was kind of hoping that we could have like a poison smoke screen while the carriage was running. Would have been potentially very effective, but problem for another time. Yeah, Toren, I don't know. You're not looking good, but
Jasper, last time I had this thing on my neck, we had this exact same problem.
yeah, well, I'm not. I have I have a very unique set of skills. This is not one of them.
That makes two of us.
I
Go ahead
think
and make me
maybe
another check. Light a hand, please.
Can I assist?
It's a pretty
By,
like up close
By
one
holding
man
his
job.
head, holding his head down and holding the collar in place so that he.
I
can
mean,
use
you
both
could
his
also
hands to fiddle.
regale me with what you did last time. You
Oh
had
yeah,
this.
I've already done this.
Yeah.
Yeah, you rolled a nat 20, you got lucky. But go ahead and roll with advantage. It's still a very high DC.
Yeah. 21.
That does it. You did a
Okay.
20.
DC 20, yeah.
Stanley rolled a nat 20 plus 0 and managed to go in, so, or whatever your dex is. I don't know.
No, it was a +3. I have good
Plus
dex.
0? Yeah, 23.
Yeah.
So this time you manage. You do spend a little more time than you maybe had intended on this, but you
That's fine.
field a tumbler inside the lock and you just king.
I
As it does
tell
to
it
the
actually it twists the opposite way of what you think it would. That's what got me last time.
Oh, so like. Okay.
Yeah, and then
There we go.
the necklace comes right off. Toren, you feel your connection to your magic return to your connection to the Feywild, where you gain your power from, begins to return. You're still very weak from the malnourishment and the treatment you've received. There's still fresh lashing marks on your back from where you were whipped and tortured. You're not doing good, but at least you have your freedom. What would you guys like to do?
Well,
First, I'll take off my water skin and give it to Toren. Drink up, buddy. You look like you need it.
Well, yeah. Thank you. While I'm
We have-
drinking, I'm also going to cast Cure Wounds on myself at first level.
do we have an empty water skin here?
The one that I had was full, and once Toren's done with it, it'll be empty.
You can look around. There's stuff in this room too.
Yeah, I want an empty water skin.
Yeah, go ahead. Roll me an investigation check.
Sure,
Very low
I'll
DC.
look around the room too, just to see.
I want to look
I mean,
for any form
where's-
of armor or weapons if I can see
Yeah.
anything.
Where's...
Where's-
Actually, perception for you, Toren.
It doesn't matter. It's
Okay.
14 for me, either way.
Okay.
Same.
You do manage to find. It's less water skins, more like flasks, things like that. Drinking glasses.
I will literally pour out one of my water skins if I need to for this.
Or pour your water into a flask, because the flasks do close.
Okay.
But you
Yeah.
do manage to empty out your water skin. I'd say you have 2 flasks of water now and an empty water
Okay.
skin.
I'm going to open up the water skin and I'm going to breathe in it as much as I like. Breathe, cover the top. Breathe, cover the top. And I want to do this until I'm reasonably confident it's full of air.
Okay.
I then want to seal it in this condition. I'm just gonna say, well, crack my neck a little bit. I'll be back. And I take a deep breath and I head in
Into
to
the poison?
mist.
Okay. At that point, we're going to take an early break because things are supposed to start happening with the battle outside and everything. So we're going to do an early break in case that ends up running a little longer. I'd like to get it done sooner than later. So everyone who has joined so far, GT, thank you so much. Cowboy, thank you for those subs. You guys are absolute best. Just top of the line supporters here. Shifu, we got you in here too. Thank you all so much.
Who
We'll be back.
gifted from Cowboy? Let's go.
Yeah, Cowboy's killing it, dude. We'll be back in about 10 minutes. Going to throw a timer up here, and we will revisit this particular situation as it unfolds. See you guys in a few.
Oh.
Hey, folks. We're back. We're going to turn down the music a smidge here. We are in the middle of the shit right now. Stuff is going down. But yeah, we're coming back. I'm going to turn on this bandit attack sound effects. So, picking up where we left off, the group had triggered a number of traps upon delving further into this area, but managed to escape, mostly due to some quick thinking by Otten and some skillful lockpicking. However, seeing no alternative, Otten, with his small water flask full of breathable air, decided to venture into the poison. So we're going to pick up right there. What are you going to do?
I mean, I'm gonna check for traps and also a vent. Like, if there's like a way to potentially drain the poison out of this area.
I will say one investigation check should cover that. So go ahead and roll one investigation check. For
22.
Both. That's good enough. So, nope, I got a Facebook. You do not find any other trap triggers. Looking at depending on how in depth you go on each door, might vary, but the one that has been smashed open did not appear to be trapped, and the trap on that one has already sprung. You managed to find what in the boardroom what appears to be a switch of some kind to stop the poison, and as you pull it, the poison stops but does not descend yet. You can no longer hear the vents venting poison into the room.
Okay, so no extra poison, but yep. Okay.
And you notice it begins to dilute and dissipate a little bit, like the air begins to grow a little clearer.
Oh yeah, also, I'll turn around at this point and toss my bow and arrows out the door, remembering that.
Oh yeah, Toren, you rolled a 9 perception.
Toren.
So you do manage to find a couple display weapons, like there's a pair of crossed short swords behind a shield over the fireplace, and they are functional. Not the greatest weapons, but they would do the trick. And as you're looking, you just see a longbow and a small bushel of arrows fly out of the gas, which is now beginning to clear ever so slightly. And it just clutters onto the floor.
So the mist is gonna dissipate itself in time, right?
Yeah, essentially, the longer it's left, like it needs to keep refilling to stay full. Otherwise, it just dilutes in the air over time.
Okay. Given that, then there's no need. We can focus on what we can and then wait, because in theory we've triggered the poison mists already, and once I have a kind of reasonable grasp on the triggers, some of them at least.
Oh, you can see clearly where the gas lever, or where the place that Stanislav slept on to trigger it was.
Okay.
However, after you pull that lever,
tell you where the arrow trap was either.
Oh, he found that.
Yeah.
However, after you've pulled the lever and the gas has begun to dissipate, when you go head back that way, you will notice that trap has reset.
Doesn't surprise me.
Keep mindful of that spot.
Yeah, I'll actually take. How do I want to go about this? So I don't have. Yeah, never mind. I was gonna take some arrows and like leave them around the trigger or something as like a marker, but I'll leave that for now, and I'll just come back into the main room.
So meanwhile, while he's been doing this, I have a question, DM. Toren and I have both actively participated in cannibalism, right?
Yes, technically.
Okay. So, technically Toren is edible, right?
Yeah. I mean, technically, humanoid meat is edible. Yes, why?
Okay, cool. Could I cast Purify Food and Drink on him and
oh my god!
No. He is not food or drink. I appreciate the effort.
Yes.
But no.
Okay.
Or in his friend, not
If
food.
he was dead, and you were about to cook him, I would allow it. But he is not in his current state. Food.
That was.
That's a good
I
one.
wasn't
though.
sure
I'll give you credit.
where
I'm clipping
you were
that. I'm
going
clipping
with that.
Yep.
It
clip.
wasn't there, and I'm very proud of
I'm
you.
very proud of you. That was impressive.
Oh man, just a thought. Okay, anyways.
Or in friend, not food.
Yeah, I'll get Toren like laid down on the couch over in the corner there. All right, buddy, let's just chill out for now.
There are clothes in
sucked
this
ass.
room.
Clothes? Oh,
No.
oh yeah, you look right.
There's no armor or anything on display. No garments or vestments
No,
or
no.
anything anywhere.
No.
We're about
There's
the same
there's a
size.
coat
We're both
rack.
pretty-
There's a coat
pretty
rack with
tall.
like a couple cloaks on it, but nothing that will like cover you fully. If you wanted a cloak, you could cloak
I'll
yourself.
take one of the cloaks for sure.
Okay, you grab. There's 3. There's one that's navy blue. There's one that's dark purple, and there's one that's dark green.
Dark green.
Well,
I figured.
so I have my traveler's clothes on. I'll pull my fine clothes out of my bag. We're about the same size. Why are these on? They're like kind of.
I think it would be like slightly smaller. I think, but
They hang a little loosely on you, but they fit. You don't have you don't have quite as much in the pectoral region, but
just right here is just.
yeah, it's just a little droopy.
They're actually
like-
kind of like a fine gray silk, so they're like super comfortable. They're my fine clothes, so
Here's hoping we don't get into any fighting. So
Yeah, it doesn't take you
really
long to
wouldn't
throw
want
that
ruin
on.
these for you.
By the
well,
time
don't worry, they weren't expensive, and they won't chafe your nipples at all. Trust, they're very comfortable.
I've come in contact with this problem before.
yeah, nipple chafe
Yes,
is a
I-
big one when wearing armor.
They have very sensitive nipples. They usually cut holes in shirts.
Yeah. So as you finish donning your fancy vestments, Aten reappears from the smoke, which has begun to clear now as you're looking at it, slowly but sure.
Hey, there's less smoke over there.
What'd you do?
I didn't technically do much. I just checked for traps that you triggered, and if we have to go back through, I'll have a better idea of how to not have that happen again.
Excellent. Perhaps you should have gone in there first.
I mean, listen, you made an appropriate decision at the time. It was just the wrong one. So,
I feel like we're splitting hairs.
yes, exactly. I agree. And it's not really my priority. I don't know what condition Elsevier is in right now, and I have no real way of checking. But in theory, I think maybe we should have one of us switch places with him.
Not a bad idea.
How?
Since my memories semi came back, how's my knowledge of the area now?
You mostly spent your time in the Ember Steppe with your brother, not as much time in the mountain range. That being said, there's a finite. There's pretty much one main road through the entire pass. Well, 3 technically, but it's
Going through the
all
mountain-
part of the
we're-
same unit.
Are we going through the Incendus Mountain still?
Yeah, 1 second. So if I pull up, I'm just gonna quickly pull up the Magus Imperium map.
I can go out there. I mean, I do, for the most part, know this area.
Yeah, so you see where Blackhelm is on the map?
Yeah.
South of the Incendus Mountains. You would be somewhere north of there in that pass that I'm pinging right now.
Okay.
Somewhere. There's mountains all through there. I just had to blur them to make room for the text, but you're essentially just in a canyon weaving your way through. There's one main path to every town, and it kind of all connects to the same road. It's the only road you know of big enough to fit a carriage on.
All right.
I've been through this area with the Hushroot many a times. I mean, I may not know the specifics, but I'm familiar with the terrain.
All right. Well, I should go check on Elsevier. I'm doing all right.
If he comes in, I'll go out. No problem.
All right.
Let's check on our rider.
Are you
I'm gonna disarm the bear trap that you set.
I mean, you can,
Oh,
just
yeah.
you can just avoid it and leave it if you want. It's up to you.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. So I'll.
Are you sneaking?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Roll me a stealth check.
Okay.
Good luck.
That's good stuff.
Hey, you don't have disadvantage on it anymore.
21.
Okay, that is good enough. You break open the door and notice that the carriage has moved a fairly good distance, probably 50, 60, 70 feet in the time. It's moving slowly, only being pulled by one horse. But you notice there's almost like a small phalanx built around it, like they're guarding it as it's moving away, and they're trying to keep foot soldiers
friendlies
from
are?
coming in. Yeah, your own people are
Okay.
essentially creating a defensive line. It's not the strongest, and there are sections where it's just open. But so far, no one has managed to get past it and start harassing you guys. However, as you look up to where Ilsevere was controlling the horse, you notice he's just slumped down, no longer conscious, with 3 arrows stuck into his back.
Okay, I'm gonna go grab him. I'm breaking stealth. I'm gonna sprint, get up there and grab him.
Yeah, the horse at this point is just moving slowly on instinct and fear.
Yeah.
Can I try and, as I'm grabbing him, can I try and smack the rein to get him going?
I mean,
Sure. I mean, roll me an animal handling check.
Yeah.
That's fine. He's
Also,
already going. He's pretty fast.
Is
want
a
him to go,
Kesh
though.
is a Kesh still alive / around?
He's still you.
At
Oh,
19.
you mean Stanislav's horse? I thought you were talking
Yeah.
about the actual.
Oh yeah, where's Cash?
He's just. I don't know. You didn't tell me what he was doing that
Okay.
whole time. So
I'm
if
mentally
you
gonna
want,
command him to come up alongside the.
Okay. Yeah. So
Yeah.
out of the distance, essentially, running with the cavalry as they're doing their passes, you see Ikesh, your giant warhorse, kind of just acting on its own accord as you last commanded it to. And it pulls up right next and kind of fits itself in. You'll have to get out and actively harness him to the carriage if you intend on having him pull it. But he is there.
Okay, I'm just gonna command him to run alongside the carriage for a bit until it's safe for us to do that.
Okay, and you're gonna pull Ilsevere in.
Yeah, I got Ilsevere slumped over his shoulder, and we're in.
Okay. So as you're doing that, and you are breaking your stealth to do so, you just begin. He is still alive. He's unconscious and on death's door, but he's still currently living. You
Shoot
do,
me.
however, break your stealth. So one of the archers is going to turn and take its to attack against you,
Okay.
and it is going to fire the first one. 18 to hit, I believe, is a miss.
By 1.
And then he's going to do it again.
I can't see
But-
his rolls, by the way.
Can't see. Oh, it went to GM. That's weird. How do I change that?
On the dice, when you have the dice thing, there is. Blah. My brain is not.
Yeah, the
explaining this
GM
well.
thing. It shouldn't be.
Yeah, you just click it, and if it's blue, it's GM rolls, and if it's not blue, it's.
It says 2GM
Open
in
rules.
brackets for some reason. I'm gonna try again. It's still saying 2GM in brackets. I don't understand.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, it's
We'll-
just
we'll
doing it
trust
now. So the first roll was an 18. That's a miss. I'm gonna roll the second. I tried to roll 3 attacks to see if they would work. None of them are going through. I'm not sure why. It is what it is. So I'll just tell you guys what it is. It's on stream if you want to see it. And a 16 on the second shot,
Also,
which I believe is also a miss. So the 2 arrows just bounce and skitter off onto the rocks around you, not having effect. And you manage to drag Ilsevere inside the door and just slam it shut. And he's kind of just laying on his side with a thin trickle of blood dripping out of his mouth.
last first level cure wounds.
Okay.
Right on him.
Yeah. So you heal him up.
Yep, for
I
7.
would also like to hit Elsphere with the cure wounds.
Okay. Go ahead.
I'll yank the arrows out first and target those wounds with the touch.
Yeah, so he, like, as the arrows come out and you cure him, he opens his eyes. Oh. Thank you for coming with me. I don't think I had long left.
It's not your fucking time yet.
I don't assume we're out yet.
No, we're moving, and we need to get somewhere where I can get my horse hooked up. But
He stands, using his staff to kind of raise himself up and lean on it.
no, I'm gonna bring him over to like one of those couches or a chair and have him sit down. Take it easy. Take it easy.
Yeah, love. Hate to break up the reunion real quick. DM, how is this horse only pulling the carriage about 10 feet a turn?
Yeah, I think
Oh,
the
yeah.
carriage
I rolled a nat
moves-
19 on my animal handling check for 19.
Okay, yeah. So
So
I'm
you're up to
actu-
20 feet a turn now. Because it's 40 when it has both horses pulling it, I believe. And it's down to 1.
Okay.
So I'm going to say it's 20. At least that's how I'm remedying it now.
I mean,
But it is moving as fast as it can now. Between the fear it is feeling and the whip from Stanislav to get it, or not the whip, the little
yeah,
handling check to get it moving. It is actively moving. It's just still not very fast.
20 a turn. I mean, we'd be better off walking at this point.
Well, no, we're gonna
Uh,
get my horse hooked up too.
Yeah, but they
How
have.
long will it be till it's safe to do that?
Yeah, so on a meta level, because DM already said it, they have sharpshooter. Their range is 600 feet. 20 feet a turn if they stay completely, like, let's assume we're 100 feet away. At 20 feet a turn, that is like 20 turns, 30 turns, I think.
To be fair, that's only if they have line of sight. And it is a winding and weaving canyon, so as long as you can get around their line of sight, you're doing okay.
To be fair, that's also if
thinking.
they don't move, right? Like, that's assuming that they're not 200 feet in the air and then just stay there.
Go ahead and roll me an insight check.
Okay. I can do that.
This is just to read the state of the battle and where each group is at.
Sure.
13.
May I also?
Sure, if you want. So, Aten, you, it's pretty clear to you one thing. While the Hushroot is not currently winning, they're not necessarily losing either. They have held them in their position. The archers are not actively moving. They're too busy trying to deal with the current onslaught that they have in front of them.
Okay.
They are watching the carriage, but the only people actively pursuing it appear to be the ones on foot at the moment. The archers are quite preoccupied dealing with the elves and Hushroot members who are shooting them from across. These are the Hushroot Tribe archers are probably the only ones who can compare to the Imperium. They don't have the magical abilities.
Sure, but in terms of output,
pure skill, they shoot faster, they shoot harder.
Okay. I'll look to Toren and I'll be like, I mean, if we can get rid of some of that cover fire, I think that's our best chance of actually moving. The board is on a scale, and we gotta tip it in best we can. So
if you can keep them from shooting at me, I can get out there and harness up the horse. I need to help.
As soon as he says that I have my bow, and I'm like,
yeah, I'm just gonna look at him and like,
this.
You're halfway to hell, and I'm not dragging you out. Stick your ass there and don't move. And
roll me a persuasion check at disadvantage. Actually, I'll just say straight.
I'm. If it's straight, it's 11. If it's well, actually, either way, it's 11.
It's 11. He's listening to you in the sense he's not going to put himself in way of archer fire.
Mm-hmm.
But he is. You can see it just with your insight being what it is. He is ready to stand and defend this room if anyone should enter it.
Yeah, that sounds right. I mean, I'll take that, actually. I'm fine with that. I just don't want him out there.
Well, if you won't have me do it, brother, you must do it.
We'll get the horse
if you can
hitched
get
up.
the horse hitched up, then we can get moving and we can get out there.
As much as I hate to say that I'm gonna do this. I'm not wearing any armor. You have armor. I might know the terrain, but I will be a pincushion if I walk out there.
Your friend is probably better suited to dealing with the archers as well.
It's fair. All right. Yeah, I can get him hitched up quite easily.
For now, Toren, let's keep you in here, and we'll do our best to avoid fire.
He's essentially going to pop out the door, fire, and go back, kind of thing.
I mean, there's no real need to do anything else. Why expose yourself when
perfect.
you don't have to?
Okay, so the game plan is we're going to have Stanislav go hitch the horse, while the two archers cover, and Elsevier's going to defend the back, or in here.
Basically, yeah. And I'm actually going to call the phalanx, or phalanx. Phalanx. Yep. And I'm just, like, more or less just going to hold around here. We're gonna create a wall, hold position. We're gonna try and give ourselves an opening. Just hang in there. And I'm gonna, hopefully they can just, like, basically I'm wanting them to just make a wall and dodge action. And
yeah, they're essentially making a wall and moving with the carriage. Because they can move faster than it does, even in phalanx.
Yeah,
as a phalanx, they can move 20 feet per turn, as a group.
Yeah.
So they're essentially just, like, keeping up. And if it gets to the point that the carriage can make an actual escape, they're going to try to pile into it as quickly as possible. Well, you can even see some kind of crowded around the door, like, waiting for the moment.
Exactly what I want, anyway.
Yeah, it's like me playing Phasmophobia, where you just kind of chill in the truck the whole time.
I'm gonna 3-2-1 Toren, and I want to like do the very like movie. Both of us come around the corner.
Yeah. And then you just kind of alternating.
Before that, though, I'm just going to tell Elsevier, be careful. Those two, Kesh and the scumbag mage, might still be in here.
All right.
Be careful.
I'll watch the door. And he goes and stands by where the poison has now mostly dissipated. He's kind of looking at it curiously. So we're gonna jump back over to our other map. I'm not gonna drag like 40 fucking minis out here, just so you guys are aware.
What?
No. Okay, so Aten and Toren are still in the carriage. Stanislav is gonna be going out of it. Okay.
More so onto the top of it.
Yeah, give me just here. I'll put you. Delete this dude. Put you right there. There you go. You're on it now. I need to just drag a few minis out here.
Just a few.
Let's try to find like some easy soldiers to put down here.
You have a horse that you can put down that's yellow?
I don't. I can find a horse, not necessarily a yellow one.
Okay, yeah, I'm just thinking for.
Yeah, fuck it. I'm not gonna put down all the minis. There is a vanguard currently guarding your carriage of about 10 people in a line, and they're being attacked by about 12, also trying to funnel in. Mm-hmm. There you go. That's as fucking complicated as that needs to get. So you're gonna try to just get right on top of it. Oh yeah, you want a horse. Oh, this is a seahorse. That's cute.
Yep.
No,
and he's currently alongside the carriage.
Kind of. Oh wow, that's an odd-looking horse.
There we go.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, he's currently, and then there's a horse attached to it. It's kind of pulling, and it's kind of lopsided too because it's a double harness, so it's kind of like got a little bit of a list going on. However, now that we're out there, I am gonna have everyone roll initiative real quick. Okay. Now, one sec, I gotta clear the board. Clear. There you go. Yeah, just so I get everybody in there.
Ooh, good start.
I'm happy with that.
Oh my god!
Well, what are the odds we're both going to be shooting together?
This is the perfect initiative because we want you guys to put down cover for me to go.
Toren got... okay. Oh, you don't have a mini on here yet. That's pain. Like... Alright, what is
don't
your...
forget to put your minis on, click on them, and then roll initiative because it'll transfer it over.
It makes my life easier when you do, but that's fine. Toren, you had a 23?
Yeah.
And Aten, you had a...
23 as well.
Oh shit, okay.
Amazing.
Alright, Elsevier's not in initiative, he's just guarding. So it's just gonna be the three of you, and then at the end of every initiative round, I'm gonna have each of the armies acting independent.
Yep.
Okay, if someone breaks through and manages to enter a combat specifically with you guys, then I'll add them to the initiative order. But as it stands now, your line is holding.
Okay.
So, starting at the top of the order, ascending. I mean, Aten or Toren, whoever wants. Your guys' choice.
I mean, I'll take
let
the...
Aten fire first, and I'll let Aten go first, because whatever target he's actively shooting at, I'll shoot the same target.
So you're focus firing.
Doesn't matter. People. Fuck.
Did you roll like shit again?
I rolled a nat 1 and then a 2.
Oh, rough. Yeah, so you try to pick out that same dude who's been giving you trouble at this point. And you pop out and just fire your crossbow shot, and it goes wide. And then Toren steps out behind you, just leans, draws the bow, fires, and right up into the armpit, essentially, as this man is trying to aim a shot.
God damn it.
That would be so fucking painful.
You do 13 points of damage. Yeah, that's a bad one. 13 points. Not dead yet, but still standing. And then you fire again, this time hitting kind of upwards into the rib cage. And hitting for 11 points of damage. He's still...
No, it's just 9. That's second dreadful strikes doesn't count.
He is still standing.
Dreadful strikes only once per turn.
He is still standing, but he's beginning to look rough. He's like starting to hunch over. He's having more trouble trying to draw the bow and everything. Yep.
Perfect.
And then, I mean, that's both y'all's turn. Stanny, you're up.
Yeah, I'm going to command Nikesh to get into position.
Yep.
Should be super easy to get him hitched up with being able to like directly command him.
I'm gonna
how to
say
position himself.
it's gonna take an action to do it.
Yeah, that's
But
what
you do manage to spend the turn just getting a harness. It's loosely tied. It's enough that it'll hold. It's a big horse. It's fairly easy to tighten the straps on.
Yeah.
You do have your horse hitched up. Next turn, you can start moving, and the horse's turn, since it's pulling the carriage now, will just count the carriage movement as whenever your horse takes its action.
Okay, and just because I've used all my spell slots. I'm gonna cast through my racial trait. Where is it? A branding smite.
Okay, just to have it prepped.
I have it prepped. Yeah.
All right, there you go.
It's a concentration spell. So.
Okay, this time both of the armies are gonna roll, and what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to roll 2 sets of percentiles. Oh, it just rolled. Oh wow, a 3. I rolled a 3 on a percentile. Holy shit. So the Hushroot gains the upper hand because they're the first number, and the Imperium is the second one. So as the battle continues, the arrows are flying across the canyon. Members of the Imperium archers are just beginning to fall and tumble into the canyon below, hitting the ground with a sickening crack and clang as their armor. Yeah, pretty much.
Music to my ears.
The Imperium still has greater numbers, but you can see the tide of battle is beginning to turn at this point. And the carriage is beginning to move a little faster. So your escape is imminent. Big 3s. Hell yeah. Thanks, Cash.
Yeah,
right.
you know who else had bigger numbers? The orcs.
Yeah, that's true. However, the archer that you guys did shoot at, seeing Stanislav get the horse hitched up is going to take a couple shots at you.
Okay.
That's a miss. And that is a crit.
Damn.
On the second shot. Do I have to declare the... I have to declare the shadow arrow early. You're lucky. Very lucky. So I rolled a 6 plus 3. So 6 times 2 is 12 plus 3, 15. I don't know why it calculates crits differently than I do. Or is it just 9 plus crits, 6?
Yeah, I'm not looking great.
I don't understand. Oh, it rolls 2 dice. I get it. Either way, it comes to 15 points of damage from that arrow as it sinks into your torso and manages to pierce your armor and get through. However,
Ow.
You're back at the start of the round. Otten and Toren, the line is holding. As long as that percentile is above and the Hushroots are holding their ground, that line is holding. You have no one breaking through yet. What do you want to do?
Let's do this shit again. It's that's all we need to do technically, right?
You're providing covering fire at this point.
It's same thing, sharpshooter. Fuck yes.
Oh, you just roll a nat 20 with sharpshooter?
Yeah, so that's
you rolled a 9.
20 plus
Yeah, you
8,
rolled a
7,
9.
so that's 33 plus 10. And I'm gonna throw in.
Where you getting that
pick
from?
the crit. So it's 13.
You rolled a
So
9.
9 plus 4, and then or am I just doubling the initial?
Yeah, I just that's how I do it. Roll 20 does it differently. I'm not sure why. I mean, if you want, you can just use the number that it gives us. But I always go like whatever number you roll just gets doubled, and you add your modifier to it.
Sure. So 18 plus 4, so 13, and then the sneak attack.
23. He's dead.
Yeah, 18, 20.
It doesn't matter.
Cool.
So this time you raise your crossbow and you hold for just a second. And you wait until like you hit a bump and you lock your shot in and you're like, okay, we're good now. We got smooth road, and you fire and it just rips right through the armor. And you see it just with a small trail of blood shoot right out the back. And the guy just collapses and begins tumbling down the cliff face. I'm gonna roll a percentile real quick. He does not land on one of his allies, unfortunately. If he rolls above a 75, he's landing on one of his friends.
Understood.
Toren, you're up. Oh, I guess Otten still has movement.
No, I don't actually. I used my movement, so I'm just reloading.
Sneak.
Actually,
Okay.
You know what? Action surge.
Fuck yeah, do it. Yeah, so looking at the
So-
archers, their numbers are down from 30 to about 16 after your kill.
Okay, so let's do this shit again. Watch me miss.
You miss. Oh, wait, no,
Yeah, I
16.
missed.
Oh, because you took the -5 too, right? So you're
Yeah.
16 -5 is only an 11.
Yeah, so
So you missed both
yeah.
shots.
that'll miss. That's okay.
Alright. Toren, you're up.
There, what's the spacing between of the archers? Are there any close clusters or groupings of them?
They essentially lined starting from here to here, like a line of 30. Some of them are taking cover. Some are trying to avoid.
Are they all
arrow
within
fire.
like 5 feet of each other?
Couple of them are, yeah. If you're looking for a cluster, you could pick that out.
Yeah, I'd like.
We're half theatering of the mind at this point because
I'd like to look for a small cluster of them, and I want to draw. I'm gonna bonus action cast a hail of thorns and take a shot at one.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'd say there's about 4 in that cluster you could affect. So they just have to make a save on that, right? Like that's not a shot from you.
It's a dexterity saving throw, and if they fail on a target, and every creature within 5 feet of it must make a dexterity saving throw, and then if it fails, it takes 2d10 damage. On a success,
what's your
half.
save? So 1 succeeds. The rest rolled a 9, a 7, and a 10.
14.
Oh yeah, they fail. one succeeds. 3 of them, however, do fail. So they take 15 points of piercing damage.
2.
It also
2d10.
rolled for you
2d10
already.
actually.
Rolled a 5 and a 10. When you cast it, it rolled a 15.
Oh yeah, so 15.
Yeah, so they take 15 points of damage. It's not enough to like severely injure them, but they're starting to like be affected by it, and you see these like this burst of thorns go out. You see like some of them just getting these little thorn pricks, and they're kind of raising their hands to stop it. You see blood beginning pouring down some of their faces, even from this distance. That was a pretty substantial hit.
Airstrike incoming.
Yeah, no shit. Cluster strike.
Yep.
You have one more shot, I believe, right?
Yeah, and then I'll just take a normal shot, I guess. I'll pick one that looks like crap, and I'll
Take the weakest looking of the cluster. Got it.
Yeah, 17.
That hits.
So 11 points of damage.
Not quite enough to kill him, though definitely on death's door. You see just massive amounts of blood pouring out of the wounds as you fire your next arrow, and it just sinks right into the torso. He's kind of crouched at this point, no longer firing his bow. It's kind of hard to fire a bow with an arrow sticking out of your chest. So he's effectively out of the combat, though still alive. You have rendered him more or less useless. Stanny.
Shoot to wound, not to kill.
There you go, Stanislav. You're
We're
up.
ready to go. Everybody get the fuck inside.
Are you gonna issue a command?
Yes.
Roll me a persuasion with advantage. Very low DC.
Mind if I do.
Edge vantage.
You don't need to tell them twice. Natural 20.
20 and natural 19 too.
You gather the order is heard, and they begin to start like enclosing. They're not breaking the line yet. They're still holding it, but like they're kind of lining it up so they can go one by one in and keep the line up for as long as possible. So starting next turn, they'll be working on that.
Okay.
And you're gonna keep the carriage moving, I guess, at this pace while they get in.
Yes, I'm gonna hold the dodge action for my action.
Okay, so +2.
I'm
to
gonna
AC?
use the dodge action. Sorry, no, it just attacks against me are disadvantage.
Disadvantage. Got it.
Yeah. And then, by the way, when I cast Branding Smite on myself, that also was cast on Kesh because that's how Fine Steed works.
So if the horse.
So-
yeah, okay. Yeah.
Instead
awesome.
of being a normal radiant glowing, he is now a sun.
Just fire. Yeah, he's
Branding Smite is radiant damage.
Oh yeah.
So he's even more. He's like a glowing.
He's golden
angelic
ponyta.
horse.
Yeah. Okay, got it.
So if
Awesome.
he ends up doing his attack on anyone, I can use that with him.
Okay, there's no one currently in front of you, but if that ends up happening, yeah, that would definitely be something to look into.
Also, just a flavor thing. He's now even more brightly glowing.
Just radiant fucking horse. For real.
And I can Divine Smite through him if I ever want to. But anyways.
Okay. So that's your turn.
Yeah, for his, I'm gonna get him to, and the other horse to hold the, like their action to move.
Yeah, they're still
full
just
speed.
moving their current speed at this point, like the 20 feet. You haven't sped them up yet, so you can give your guys time to get in.
Okay.
So just maintaining that 20 feet right
Actually,
now.
yeah. Next turn.
Because if you start going 40, they can't keep up with you, and then you just leave all
Correct.
those dudes behind.
And then I'm gonna have them using their movement and action. So we're gonna be going 80.
Okay, sounds good.
Mhm.
All right, start of the round. We're going to have both sides roll a percentile again. Ooh, this time. As the battle continues to wade or rage below in the canyon, you see 2 new individuals.
Yeah.
Come up to start assaulting the line you have formed, both clad in a very familiar black armor, commonly worn by your own traveling companion, as they just lock their shields and kind of just interpose themselves into the middle of the already shield wall that they have two compressed against each other. They just make a hole and set up and are essentially just standing. All you see above the shields is the slit of their eyes, and I just need to double check something super fast here. And all you see is just poking out the side is a couple spears.
I wasn't in a hurry for this interaction.
Yeah, there's a small groove carved into the shield where the spear fits through. It's very small. It's just enough to rest the spear on and get yourself a little extra thrust. But they form the line and they start stabbing and just pushing. And every time someone launches an attack against one of them or someone else in the line, they counterattack right against it. And it's the flow begins to shift in their favor now as this group begins to interpose themselves. They haven't broken through just yet. They just showed up. But next turn, it's going to start being an issue. Toren and Aten, you're up. You would see this happening.
You also heard me tell you get the fuck inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You notice a couple men have already begun trying to climb inside and make their escape and everything.
So
They look like you. Who are these guys?
they are me. For all intents. Yeah. Tell me about it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna abandon my advantage attack this particular round, and I'm gonna take a pot shot at one of the archers though. So
Okay, just keeping the pot shots up.
I mean, the archers are the support fire. If we remove the support fire, we'll be in good shape. So that's 18. No sneak attack. I was super excited, but no sneak attack. So that's 13 points of damage. I will toss in, however, a D8 from one of my superiority die.
Are you hitting one of the ones that Rob already hit?
Yeah, I'll try to finish
Okay.
somebody off. Preferably.
13 is enough. You don't need to.
Oh, okay.
I will save you expending that superiority die.
So-
13 is plenty.
I appreciate that. The superiority die has a secondary effect that I'm kind of also using it for.
Okay, well, you just overkill this dude.
Yeah, so it's an extra 6 damage, but I'm gonna maneuvering attack, and I'm just gonna one of the guys that's close and but not in. I'm just gonna be okay, get in. So I'm using.
Yes,
this
he
to
gets a
kind of-
free reaction to move into.
He gets a reaction to move half speed. So we get I'm basically using this to try to speed up the process.
Hell yeah, fuck yeah, dude, I love it.
As a bonus action, I'm going to use the help effect on Toren.
Okay, so you're gonna help Toren shoot.
And I'm just gonna
Hit there.
point out.
Yep.
I'm just gonna point out one of the snipers on the horizon. I'll be like, focus that one, get him out. And yeah. So
Okay.
Toren, you have advantage on your next attack roll.
So as you're doing this, you turn and you fire your shot, kind of underhanded this time. You're not even raising it to aim. It's almost just a pot shot, like hip fire. And the way you angled the bow is such, when you fire it, the bolt just flies right up and catches the fellow, or the individual. You can't really make out the gender from here. Right in the bottom of the chin, you see the bolt just lodge itself through the bottom of their chin underneath that helmet, and they just tumble off the cliff as well. 1 second. Whoop. They rolled a 1 on a percentile.
Do they land on an enemy?
No, I already specified if they land over 75, they land on one of their compatriots. If anything, they should be landing on one of you guys with a 1.
That's what I mean. Do they land on a Hushroot?
No, none
Oh,
of you guys are
one.
good. That's just mean. No. Though, that is your turn. Toren, you are up. The numbers are beginning to dwindle. The archers are down to about 14, 13 people now. They're getting lit up. You still can't make out how the Hushroot are doing because you don't have visual on that side of the canyon. You just see arrows flying over from that side.
As I'm getting ready to draw my shot, I pick up what Aten says and I turn and I launch my arrow at the guy that he pointed out. So
This one's also looking pretty squishy already, so go ahead and roll your damage.
advantage, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Both strikes if you want. Oh!
Oh no, that's one less person in this world.
Yeah, so 3 times 2 is 6 plus 4 is 10. 3 times 2. Oh my god, so 16 points right on that strike alone. 16 points of damage. You once again just kind of lean back this time, fire your arrow is out and kind of guides your shot and picks your target for you. Ever the vigilant commander.
And the shot and holding you around the waist.
Yeah,
like
and
Ghost, and the scene from Ghost.
Yeah, he's just like holding the bow.
Behind with the arrow.
Yeah.
Intimately.
And as you fire, you watch the arrow flex and the archer's paradox take over as you loose your shot and you watch the arrow just wiggle and then straighten out and right into its target's chest, dead center, right in the heart, and the fellow just collapses backwards, not off the canyon in this particular instance.
For my second attack, if there's the closest person to that, the person I just took out, I'm gonna fire a shot at.
Go ahead, yeah, take your other shot. That's 28, dude. Holy shit. That's high.
Isn't this an advantage, so you could technically get a...
No, the first attack was an advantage,
just
but he
one.
got a nat 20 anyway. So
it didn't matter.
mattering.
It would have 22 would have hit too. Yeah, so you hit. 10 points piercing. It just catches him in the shoulder, and he breaks the arrow off, leaving the arrowhead, so he can still shoot his bow without any obstruction. He is still standing, starting to look a little unhappy though. At this point, the numbers are beginning to turn in your favor, though they have the 4 members of the Kiram who are very much holding their own. You don't have it. Fun fact: you do not have visual on either the ranger or the tactician.
Yeah,
the 2 archers of the Kiram are not
that
visible to you guys.
I'm also still extremely worried about Ikesh and the mage's whereabouts, because we never saw them leave the carriage.
Well, you know the mage is not within 1,000 or 100 miles or whatever the fuck the number is.
1,000 feet.
100 feet,
1,000
yeah.
feet.
Oh yeah, so... Yeah,
so you know
that
he's
would've
gone.
covered.
You don't know
and
about
I cast
Ikesh.
that in the pocket plane, so I would only know of within that pocket plane.
Technically, if he could have just literally stepped outside, and in that pocket plane, you wouldn't have been able to find him.
No, exactly, but like... anyways.
Yeah, you don't know about Ikesh. You do know he has very little measurable magical talent. Like a little, like any aristocrat in the Imperium usually has some form of magical training. But you remember your time with
That
Ikesh.
guy-
He's not the most powerful individual. He's maybe a level 3.
However, if he was with a mage of the
Substantial
Magus Imperium,
power, yeah.
that guy could have cast teleport. It could be anywhere.
Yeah, I'm not going to let you in on how he got out of here in such a hurry. That's my secret.
He's a powerful mage. There's so many things could have done.
It's the Imperium. They have their tricks. However, Toren, that will be your turn. Stanny, you're up.
How many people are outside the carriage still?
Your line has about 10 to 12 people in it. And 2 already got into the carriage. So you have about 10 people left in your battle line being assaulted by about 12. 12 including the members of the Kiram.
Alright, I'm just gonna yell, it's now or never, everybody hurry the fuck up.
And they just start piling on. They're going at the end of the round, so after your turn is when people start loading up, generally speaking. So, once again, I'm not going to have you roll again. What would you like to do for your action? Are you continuing to just dodge? Okay. Yeah. Perfect. All right, so they're going to start piling on.
I'll have the horses dodge as well.
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
At least Ikesh, can I roll animal handling to try and get the other one to dodge?
I would say, yeah, Ikesh will do that automatically. Go ahead and roll me an animal handling check.
Okay.
I don't know how well horses know how to dodge. It's a nat 20. Okay. It's a 20. I don't believe in crit successes on skills.
I communicate through Ikesh to make the horse stop.
Yeah, so essentially you
Translate for me.
You command Ikesh what to do, and he just looks over to the other horse, goes and you gather it has understood what you were trying to accomplish. And the horse gets to take a fucking dodge action.
All shots at living things controlling the carriage are at disadvantage.
There you go.
Let's go.
I love it. Okay,
Amazing.
so... do not have the thing. I gave them the thing.
Did you give them the thing?
Oh, these guys aren't the arcane archers. That's why I was confused. That makes sense. Okay, so they are moving. And you're at the end of the round. More members of the group are going to start trying to pile in. As they do so, the line of Imperium is starting to close around them, however. And you're gonna have to see now if they get through and if you guys are gonna have to deal with shit. We'll see though. Oh yeah, definitely gonna get through. So as they're focused on trying to get into the carriage and they're piling them in, at this point on, you're just grabbing people and hucking them behind you as they're coming through the door. Like, that's just what you're doing right now. And as the group begins to grow smaller and kind of cluster around the door, they're holding a small line now, and it gets down to about 3 people holding a shield wall, trying to move with this carriage.
Yep.
And you see, with your passive perception, a fairly familiar shade of blonde, light blonde hair on whoever's leading this individual. And the armor looks familiar. Blind Axe. Currently leading this this group, and he's gesturing for his own people to get on while he's holding the line. And he's just going to stand there and just try to engage these people, try to push members of your tribe back, but is not really having any success on that front. He is not necessarily meant for close quarters shield combat. He's capable, but it's not his strong suit.
Yep.
Your turn. What would you like to do?
I mean, I kind of think I just have to keep doing what I was doing, which is kill as much of the archers as I can. Because if there's no one to shoot at us, then we can outrun with the carriage.
Yeah,
for the
it's
most
a
part.
Logical way of thinking.
So I'm gonna do basically the same thing I did last turn. So let's roll the dice and miss terribly.
And you move to this turn, so you're not taking advantage, you're saying?
That's correct.
Okay. All right, so once again, you try to step out and just fire, but in the haste of trying to get people through, the clutter around the doorway, seeing 2 members of your tribe, the people you grew up training with, literally 10 feet away from you trying to push through, you're just a little distracted and you fire off. You can't seem to hit your shot. In the air, the bolt just flies harmlessly off into the skies above.
And then I'll bonus action. Brain shutting down. Yeah, I'll just bonus action assist Toren then, and give Toren help. I turn around. How thick is the poison in the hallway?
It's dissipated by this point, mostly. Like, you could probably walk through it without issue.
Beautiful. Good to know. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And my turn.
Okay. Toren, you're up.
Something I also forgot is that I am poisoned, and so I should have been rolling my attacks with disadvantage.
Oh, okay. We're just gonna ignore that for now.
Yeah.
We'll just remember that going forward. I should have got it too. That's my
So
bad.
your first attack is a straight roll then, because you have advantage on it. So that's something.
Yeah. Sorry, I spaced on that one.
No, I just looked over and I saw on my conditions it said poison. That's why I was like, oh.
It's okay. It's okay. We're not gonna worry about that.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna look for another cluster of archers, and then I'm gonna fire a second level.
At this point, it's only about a cluster of 3. They're kind of beginning to space out as numbers are falling, but you can hit 3 people with it.
Yeah, I'll find that cluster and then just launch it at them. Oops.
Okay, so it's dexterity 14.
Yeah.
Alright, so there's 3 of them. I'm gonna roll 3 d20s. With their dex bonus on there, which is a +3. They rolled a 9, 21, and a 16, respectively. So I believe only one fails, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's going to take 11 points. That's enough, though. As you step out and fire your arrow, you watch it burst as the thorns erupt from it. Your natural magical energy kind of taking effect and just loosing this natural weapon on these guys. 2 of them manage to kind of put their hands up as it bursts and block their faces. One is not so fortunate, and he takes the full brunt of it as the thorns just cover an entire side of his face, piercing into his jugular, and you see the blood begin trickling out, and he just kind of stumbles and falls back out of sight, either dead or out of commission.
And then just at a visual glance, the one that looks the most bloodied, I'm going to fire my second attack at them.
Sure,
And
sounds good.
is this one here just a straight roll, or is this
No, I can only
This
give
is
you
di-
advantage on
This
one
one's
attack.
disadvantage because Chew poisoned. Ow!
You
Fucking
see,
ow!
this is very
That's
Toren. I'm not surprised at all.
Alright. Yeah, you fire, and that's enough. The guy's already on death's door. They've taken some hits.
miss.
You didn't miss. Once again, this
Where-
arrow just kind of sinks into the chest, a little lower than your last one, but effectively killing this individual.
the
This
poison makes me more focused?
So this is a slightly shorter individual, you gather. This may have been a dwarf or a halfling or something along those lines.
Real quick, for the sake of my, how many archers are left on their side? Because we've dwindled it down to what, 6?
There was like 14. You killed 1. Toren killed 2. Yeah, so we're down to like maybe 8 total at this point. Combined with what the Hushroot is doing as well, probably down to about 7 or 6.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yep.
Beautiful. God.
Was that your second shot, Toren?
Yeah. So Stanislav, you're up. This, like I said, only about 3 people who haven't managed to get in to the carriage at this point.
All right, I need to give them a chance. I'm gonna pull out 2 javelins since I'm not using any movement, and I'm going to unleash one at the guy most closely engaged with line axe.
Okay. Yeah. Probably about 10 feet away from you. There's like essentially
sweet.
line X and then him.
Cool,
So you're gonna
cool.
have
Yeah,
a
I got
javelin
30
at
feet
him?
of range. Yeah.
All right. Go ahead and make your attack.
Baby.
Are you attacking one of the Kiram?
Yes,
Okay.
that's engaged with him. 26.
26
hit.
fucking hits. Definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah.
So, this has my branding smite on it, so this is going to be an extra 2d6 of radiant damage. So here's the normal. Oh! That's 5 on a d6, and then... the 19 points of... So 10 points of piercing and 9 points of radiant.
Oh my god. So 19. They are still standing. They take the hit.
Yeah.
They weren't expecting it as they thought you were pretty focused on something. It kind of draws his attention to you.
Mhm.
But he has his orders. He has his goals. And he just locks back into his shield wall and continues trying to break through the 3 who are currently guarding the door, not paying you much mind at that point.
Fine by me. Javelin number 2.
Does it also have the smite of it?
No.
No.
And
That hits.
I would do a searing smite, but it's only on the melee hits.
Okay.
So this is just another no. Another 10.
Okay.
He's 29 total points.
Still standing. He got about half his health. He's bloodied at this point. There's wounds currently opened up. You see blood coming
Good.
through the holes where the javelins left. They didn't necessarily lodge in. He's not just sitting there looking like a porcupine. They kind of pierce. And he just knocks them out. They didn't get deep enough to really like stay lodged in his torso. He's not looking happy, or they're not looking happy. In this armor, it is extremely hard to tell whether this is a man or a woman.
Fine by me. Now I'm gonna use the other half of my movement to redraw my sword, and now I will cast Searing Smite.
Okay, sounds good. Right, so the
So
end
now-
of the round.
Ikesh lights up with flame.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. All right. So you have that cast. I'm going to roll the percentiles to see how this last round goes.
Oh!
So,
Oh, thank fuck.
between you raining down javelins and fucking holy fire and shit on these
Yeah.
people, you cause enough of a distraction that Linax is actually able to kind of slip under the shield with the short or scimitar he's wielding and jam upwards kind of towards one of the Kiram's groin from under the shield. Just like textbook shield wall move, dude.
Shot.
If you have not studied shield wall combat, one of the most common things to do is to slash ankles or stab in the balls.
There was once a guy, I forget which war it was, I think it was an Anglo-Saxon war, but there was a guy who was so, like, a massive dude, and he was holding this bridge against, like, this platoon of soldiers,
Yeah,
and eventually one dude came in with a boat underneath the bridge.
Yeah, stabbed him up in the
stabbed
dick.
up in the
Yeah.
dick.
That was the berserker at Stamford Bridge. That was a very
Yeah, yeah.
famous Viking warrior. Yeah, I've read up all about that.
Yeah.
Monomarth has a song about it too. And this manages to like break him away. He was not expecting to take a groin shot. And the other two managed to bump in or jump into the carriage while Lynax just takes his last couple steps back. However, as he does attack, the Kiram Vanguard standing next to him gets to use their reaction, which is the fighting style protection.
Yep.
And Lynax is looking pretty rough at this point, so he's going to go ahead and just take a single attack with the spear from behind the shield.
Why is he not getting in the carriage?
I don't, why didn't it roll? It just defy. Oh, it's 14. Lynax is good. He manages to just parry it away with his sword, kind of put his shield up and steps back into the carriage and just stands in the door, kind of crouching and blocking the lower half of the door. And if anyone tries to enter, he can kind of bash them out of the way.
Okay.
At that point, you finally command the horses to take off at full tilt, and the cart just lurches forward as they begin to just accelerate up to their full movement and dashing, so 80 feet. And the cart just takes off down the way. Looking behind you, you see that the Hushroot stand probably about 10, maybe 15 more men than the Imperium forces at this point. However, to anyone who looks behind or manages to catch a last cursory glance out of this door as the fight is ensuing,
Toren will be hanging his head out.
you see behind you, still attached to the other carriage, about 19 individuals still chained together. Some dead, some with arrows just puncturing every space of their body. You managed to free one, but not the others. As the carriage takes off down the canyon, leaving a trail of dust in its wake, you can only hope that the rest of the Hushroot tribes manages to make their escape as well, as you and about 12 individuals who survived this battle take a moment of repose on this carriage. And that is where we'll end the session for tonight. Bit of a shorter one, but I really wanted to get that little arc dealt with.
Yep.
Before we dive into some more stuff, and exploring this carriage is going to take a while.
Toren be holding that thing in his fist, just like fingers in his palm of his hand, like blood coming out.
Yeah, dude.
After seeing those slaves dragging.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not dragging behind your carriage, luckily. They're tied to the other one.
Yeah.
There were a few still alive from what you could see, but they're all still in chains. You guys did not get a chance to free all of them.
As they're...
It's a perfect moment where he's pissed off that he's freed, but at what cost?
Yep.
And Stanislav is thinking about his time in the arena in Lycia and how maybe the slaves that he put down were maybe given a bit of mercy at his sword instead of a cruel fate like this.
Otten considers the mission accomplished.
That one you had to go.
Of course he does.
And as you
Stone Cold Otten.
as you ride
Stone
away,
Cold Steve Otten.
yeah. Oh,
God damn it.
That's gonna stick. Lynax just collapses backwards into the carriage, and you see on his torso a number of arrow wounds and puncture wounds with just broken arrows and a little bit of shaft still sticking out. There's a wound.
Don't see that.
Stretching from the bottom left side of his face all the way up to the right where he appears to have been slashed. And he just collapses back. Bring me my wine. And he just lays down and goes to sleep. And that's where we'll call things for tonight. I want to thank everyone in chat for hanging out. Tad, you kind of caught the end of the session. If you're interested, reach out to me on Discord. I go by Rusty Tonics. I'll add you up. As well. I ran a one-shot for Tark just like a few weeks ago. It went really good. I'm planning to do some more. I'd like to get some newer members in. We are streaming the game, so I would sit down with you beforehand and kind of like go through how we play and everything. But if that's something you're interested in, I'm absolutely open to discussing it. JT was actually in one of those too.
I'm at 15 of 63 hit points, so
Oh, I know.
I was pretty low through that whole thing.
During the poison scene, I dropped down to 5.
Yeah.
Good thing I hit that clutch.
I
to
reached the
second
point
level
where I was
wounds.
like, these
Wow.
guys are fucked. Like I knew.
Yeah.
If we went one more round of poison damage, I was dead.
Actually, funny story, you wouldn't have been.
Oh.
You would have been
It
knocked
just causes-
unconscious. Well, like, what?
Yeah, because
You guys haven't got to explore the whole thing. He doesn't kill people who break in. He keeps
Yeah,
them.
there are spider poison.
It paralyzes us, doesn't it?
It just knocks you unconscious for like
Oh,
an hour.
well, I guess unrelenting endurance. I would get knocked back up with 1 health for one extra round.
Yeah. Yeah. Dead.
And then
Yeah. Thank you, Tad. I appreciate the compliment. I try. Next Monday, we will be running a game of Vampire the Masquerade, run by our good friend
Yep.
Lost Axioms, who's just sitting right there.
We're just as fucked.
Which
We're
reminds
just
me,
as
everybody, I'm
fucked.
gonna need
Significantly
2
more
seconds
fucked.
of your time when the stream
Yeah.
goes down. So
Okay. So in the meantime, we're gonna go ahead and find someone to raid out on. I believe.
Brooks EXE has
Yeah.
been guided.
I don't know if he's on. Cash was just doing that to fuck with him, I think. We'll find out though, for real.
Yep.
1 second.
If not, then that's a bank.
Brooks is on. All right, we're raiding Brooks. All right, folks. I want to thank you all for stopping by. You're the best. We'll get in touch with Tad, and we'll talk about maybe getting you in on a game sometime. In the meantime, I have been Rusty. These are my homies. This is my adventuring party. Thank you for joining the Cross Country Compatriots on another weekly installment. We'll be
See you later,
back
guys.
next week with our vampire game, Sundown in Cowtown. Peace out, homies.